It's Monday again. Woo!
Monday dance.
Yeah, this is, she loves Mondays. This is Cheryl, my fabulous co-host, and Abby, my fabulous co-host.
We need
a
another
little bit
cup
more
of coffee.
subdued than usual.
More coffee.
We also have a great guest with us too, but we are here all together to kick off your week with motivation, inspiration, and encouragement. And if you're an entrepreneur or thinking of starting up a business and wondering how your faith impacts these decisions and how you can make a difference in the world, then this is the show for you. I'm your host, Melinda. I've already introduced my co-host, but I can say it again, Cheryl and Abby. And we have a very special guest, Krista Jefferson. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm going to gush on you a little bit because you're pretty amazing. Here we go. Krista's a mom, number one, and an adoptive parent, a wife, an amazing photographer. She actually shot my wedding with some of the most beautiful pictures, so I'm putting up one just so that you can see that she shot right here. There it is. She has a keen eye for detail and in capturing those incredible moments, whether it's a baby or whether it's a wedding or all kinds of things. I love your website. It's Edison Photography, right?
It is.
She also is the founder of an organization offering African handcrafted, one-of-a-kind fashion pieces called JustOne. And she's an entrepreneur and an amazing woman who's making a difference in this world. We are so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Love the intro.
This is the face of an entrepreneur.
Love it.
First of all, as our viewers can see, and us, we're all wearing pieces. Do you notice we immediately went like this? I said, we're all wearing pieces of jewelry from the JustOne
I just go to my
collection.
Vanna White post.
We immediately went like this.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about these shortly because we want to know about this. But
beautiful.
But I want to start with this whole idea of being an entrepreneur. We always love that. We love hearing stories about women who make it happen. And added on to that you're actually making a difference in the world. It's not about money necessarily, even though money is good to help you do the things you do, but it's motivated by something else.
It's about impact, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what that takes to step out and do something and how your personal faith has motivated you to start JustOne.
Absolutely. I think for JustOne, it wasn't on my radar. I wasn't trying to start an organization like this. I was at a point where I was feeling like I wanted to do something more. As you mentioned, I'm a photographer. So I offered God my camera. I said, this is what I can offer, and this is what I have. And it just one thing after another led me to Africa, met some incredible artisans, and it was a way to offer what I have, my camera, my empty hands, and God led me to this.
Wow.
And it was incredible to see. It was a year from the time I prayed that prayer to the time JustOne launched.
Oh, wow.
And,
Really?
yeah.
1 year?
Yeah, almost to the day. And
Incredible.
yeah.
What I love about that beginning, Chris, is that you said I offered my camera. Sometimes we always feel we have to offer more than ourselves, something else, something more
Money.
grandiose, money, whatever.
Yeah.
And you said, I just offered my camera. What does that mean? Because some people are like, that seems so simple.
Yeah. No, I just said these are my skills, and sometimes it feels like, I'm just a photographer. What can I offer? What can I do that's not very spiritual? But I've heard it said that think about what makes you mad or glad or sad and act on that and offer God what you have and the things that move you. And so while I was in Uganda, that's where I went the first time, I met these incredible women who had gone through incredible hardships. And I come home and I think, how can I possibly do anything? I photographed them for the last couple of weeks, but now what do I do with that knowledge? And I came home with a necklace that they had made, just a souvenir. And everywhere I went, people were always like, what a cool necklace. Where did you get it? It's so unique. And so I threw it up on my photography blog. I said, you have 2 weeks, if you want to buy one, somebody's going back, he'll bring them. And at the end of 2 weeks, we'd sold over 200.
Wow.
Oh, my.
And so I was like, okay.
That's God going,
Yeah.
Hello.
So that was my wake-up call. And so then it just snowballed from there.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Just like that. But there has to become a point where you're like, okay, God, that's pretty obvious. I sold 200. But for some people, like, okay, I've done my part.
Yeah.
I sold 200. I gave this amount. But what made you go, I think I need to do something more?
Well, I think it was the whole idea of wanting to do something to create sustainable income for these people. I didn't want to just be like, hi, I came in and visited for 2 weeks and now I'm gone. How can I support them ongoing? Encourage them, empower them, not something necessarily that I'm doing, but being a partner with them. And so that's really what we try to do, is partner and empower them. When I went back to kind of set up JustOne, they said, we can make the jewelry, but who can we sell it to? We don't have a market. We don't have, who here can we sell to? And so I felt like that was something we could offer to them. So like I said, it wasn't an idea I had in my head. It just, the pieces kept falling into place. And I was like, okay, let's do this. I have a supportive husband, and he's like, okay, go for it.
And a bunch of women in North America that love jewelry.
Yeah, and the artisans are so talented.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we work with them on taking the skills they have. People often say, oh, you teach them to make the jewelry. I'm like, no, if I taught them, it wouldn't look like this.
Yeah.
But we take the skills they have and then adapt it to what's in style here, helping them choose colors or styles, things that people will wear. We never want people to shop out of pity. We want them to shop because they love it.
Yeah.
And
So I always have this question with people that I find have a deeper answer to share. Why? So what's your why? Why help? Why sustainable? Why so they can make a living? Why?
Yeah.
Why all of this?
Well, I think the whole idea is it could have been me. The first time I went, I met with this woman, and she was 10 years old when she was abducted. So in Uganda, we work with former child soldiers. And so they have all been abducted by Kony's army and forced to be soldiers. And then most of them have spent 10, 15 years in the bush before they managed to escape. And so this woman I met the first time was 10 when she was abducted. And so she was given to a 65-year-old man as his wife. And just, the stories that came out of there is just horrific. And at that time, my oldest daughter was 10. And it just made me realize this could have been me. This could have been my daughter's story. And because of where I was born, that it's not my story. And so I feel some obligation almost, is that I've been given an incredible start on life because of where I was born, something I have no say in. Use the term birth lottery, and it's that whole idea is better than winning a Lotto 649 is I've won the birth lottery, and I just feel like responsibility comes with that as well.
Wow.
That is huge.
That is huge.
I don't
big
think a lot
why.
of people think that way. I think because sometimes we haven't, I don't know, we don't stretch ourselves or we want to know about the world. Like because those are hard things to hear. A 10-year-old being married, having honestly sex with a 65-year-old man, and then she gets pregnant, and then she gets abused, and she's used as a sex slave. That's not good stuff to hear, and that makes us uncomfortable.
It does.
But a lot of times we're like, oh well, like I'll send off a prayer, whatever, right? We don't really actively do things in that way. And I'm the first one to say, I sometimes look and go, oh, that's too bad. And then I carry on with my life.
Yeah.
But I think the encouragement for you is that you saw the need and you're like, I've got to do something, right?
And I think we're all called to different, if we all were calling to respond to this one need, then we would have a crisis here in Canada. We're all called to different communities, different people groups, different, we all have
Areas.
different passions.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people say that to me, it's like, oh, should I be going over there? Should I be doing this? I'm like, well, if that's where you're called to.
Right.
But it's using what you have where you are and with where you are called. And just listening to where God's calling you, nudging you. Like I said, where he's making you upset, like exceptionally upset.
Right.
The news can be overwhelming. You turn on the news and it can feel like I can't make a difference.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the name JustOne, is reach just one person. And by, our little things we're doing, we can make a world of impact. And by working with just one person, like supporting
Like that.
just one artisan.
Yeah.
Now their children are going to school. Now they're, going to raise up a generation, in their community that sees a difference.
We fail to make that connection sometimes. That hit me like a
Right.
ton of bricks. So I'm just saying it again, just in my own hearing, that I buy this necklace, and yeah, I look great.
Yes,
Not a
you
plug.
do,
Not a plug.
obviously.
I'm just saying, yeah, we look great in our jewelry, but you just said that a woman can send her kids to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the weight of that, just by purchasing this, we don't connect it that way. And that's why I love, because not all jewelry, and not any jewelry I know does that, but it's so rare that this does that. Yeah.
I know the last time I was in Uganda, I was in one of their homes, so it's this mud hut, and there's no, home decor. And there's one photograph, and it was her child in a grade 1 graduation, a robe and cap. And I said, I love your photo. And she said, it's because of JustOne, that my child can go to school. And so I feel that weight is that, we want to see. Every time I visit a new country, we ask the everyday person, the taxi drivers, hotel workers, what is needed for change? And it's always education.
Wow.
And so.
And I think even what you were saying earlier, Melinda, about us not thinking about those stories, or I think it's ignorance. Like it's the fact that I don't understand how severe that is for somebody, for that 10-year-old girl. If I let myself think about it, I'm like, oh, okay. But we don't stop to actually just think about that. And in fact, I'm guilty of it, where I'll don't tell me because I can't. I'm like, I don't know what to do about it. So how do you fix it? So, but even just making jewelry, it doesn't matter how big of an impact you make. It matters that you make any impact. And so for me, I need to educate myself more about outside my world. Right?
Yeah, so the people that are making these, so talk to us about the ones that we're all doing, because I want to hear the story behind it, because it's sort of like we have this and it's tactile and here's the necklace, but who are the people? So with mine, where is
So
this
actually
from?
yours and Cheryl's and what do I have on? And mine are all made from paper beads. And so we work with a group of former child soldiers in Uganda, and it's just a small group of artisans. That's one thing, is we want to know each of their names, have been in their homes, have eaten with them, know personally the impact it's being made. And so we use only recycled paper. Rather than having them paint the paper or print the color, that we want specifically, we use recycled paper. And so they twist it by hand and they shellac it, and it's this long process. And they make each bead individually, and then they have to string it all. And their craftsmanship is incredible.
So how long would it take them to make this?
It's hard to say because it's such a, but I've asked them before, and they guesstimated about 8 to 10 hours per necklace.
Wow.
If they were to sit and make it. So
Thank you. Thank you. My goodness.
yeah, and it's so powerful. When we go, I often will bring photos of people wearing the necklace. And they say, I'm so proud that by the work of my hands, I was able to do this. And they love seeing people wear it.
Yeah.
And then what Abby has on, so the group, that's from Kenya. And so we work with a group of artisans in Kibera slums. And so it's helping break that poverty cycle. So they start working with brass, which is the necklace, and then the pin.
I love that one.
And a lot of the pieces have that, either that white or it looks like wood almost. But what they do is they go to the butcher and they get leftover bones.
Oh, what?
And then they boil it down.
Goodness.
Like that.
Yeah, and the
It's like I'm wearing
gray.
bones.
And the gray, that's bone too.
Yeah.
Is that what it looks like naturally?
No, they
Okay.
come white, and then the earrings you have on, the black piece is cow
These are
horn.
my own purchase, and I wear them every day.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's
this is
amazing.
what?
The cow horn.
Cow horn. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I just bought them because they're pretty.
And so we just love the whole analogy of taking something that was worthless, like
right,
leftover bones, old paper, and making something beautiful. And that's what we've
Amazing.
seen God
Yeah.
do in their lives continually, is, they've been told over and over that they're not good for anything, they're worthless, which we know is wrong. And we love to see God renewing their lives and something being made beautiful as they feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more, valued. Every time we meet with them, we try to just encourage each other back and forth to say, it's not me and you, we're equals, we're
Right.
partners,
Right. Yeah.
And I try to be very careful in, wording and stuff to make sure we always word it that we're partners, it's,
Yeah.
and that we
So
work
important.
together.
That's really important.
Okay, so tell me, we're talking about the beautiful. Love that. That's the theme of this show. The beautiful things that come out of the hardship and the stories and what can happen. Tell us about the beautiful change. We've heard the one story about the schooling.
Yeah.
But someone wants to buy a bunch of these and they want to know, like, what's the beautiful that's coming out of this? So what
Yeah.
kind of changes are you seeing from JustOne?
Sure.
And even forecast, like, the next few years?
Yeah, so like I said, both groups are small groups where we know each of the individuals. We've been able to see the impact.
Yeah.
One of the artisans in Uganda, her name is Lucy. And when we met her, she had had her teeth beat out of her during the war.
Oh.
So she had gone a decade with no teeth. And so we were like, well, we need to do something about this. So we were able to step in and we bought her false teeth. And she's all of her pieces have a story of one of the artisans
Yeah,
on the
that's
back.
what I was looking at.
Yeah, and so I don't see Lucy on any of these, but she's got this huge, radiant smile, and she's this big personality. And just to see her now, just so full of joy
That is
and the
so
confidence
cool.
again it gives her.
Yeah. And the stories here, like this is Lillian, has HIV, caring for her 5 children, grandchild, and 3 orphans as a single mom.
Oh my, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is Lillian.
So-
Like,
and-
this is, I mean, when we're talking sisterhood, like, we have a responsibility to
Yeah.
make sure that the Lillians, right,
Yeah.
are cared for. Like, how do you even, and she lives in the slums, and she's working to break the poverty cycle, and she's doing this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Krista, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and they're just incredible women. Oftentimes when we try to touch base every Monday, again, just that whole idea of partnership and relationship. And so we'll say, how can we be praying for you? And they always turn it back around to say, we're praying for you, and how can we pray for you?
That
course.
is so
Yeah.
humbling.
It is humbling. I when you're talking, Krista, I hear so much of Jesus and his character about we're equal and we're in partnership, and the care for those in need and giving people opportunity. It's not like you're just giving them money. They're
Yes.
actually working. There's
Yeah.
value in making these things and working an 8-hour day.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's something about that. And talk to us about, in your own faith journey and, a bit of your story on, how have you seen God? Like, life probably hasn't always been easy and there's been
Right.
challenges,
Yeah.
but, talk to us through that where you're seeing God in your own story and through all of this as well.
Yeah, I mean, every step of the way has been God. Like I said, this wasn't even an idea I had. Jewelry, I'd never been to Africa before when I first prayed that prayer. So every step of the way has been God all over it. And this last year, we brought our family with us. So my husband we've been married 20 years. And when we met back in Bible college,
Yes.
so Melinda was there. When we met back in Bible college, we talked about going to Africa someday, and it took 20 some years. And so him and I, my 2 oldest daughters, we went, and to see my daughter sitting there with the children of Coney, or to see them sitting there playing with kids in the slums and letting them make that connection, that realization that we are all the same. And we
yes.
just try to get that through, that Jesus loves you as much as he loves these children the
Yeah.
very same. And that's probably been a huge impact on me. And just the whole realization of the value in people and
Yeah.
the beauty of that.
Yeah.
That's been a big, and caring for people. Just loving people. I've learned so much from when I started to today on things like different stances we've taken. We don't bring anything to these countries. If we want to buy something, we buy it in the country.
Yeah.
Just all these different
Because
stances.
that's how you create
Yeah.
sustainable
and
growth.
and so just learning how Jesus cares for people, and
Yeah.
we try to care for them, the whole person, very holistically. And that's really our goal.
And that's everyday learning for us. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we may not be doing, just one, but I mean, I think your challenge to us is the same for us, in that we need to see people that way, especially in an environment right now where we're seeing those challenges
Yes.
all over the news, and it's breeding insecurity. And I've had a lot of conversations with people, and it's like it comes down to that whole idea of we are not born to hate. We're taught to hate. We're taught to see people that are less than ourselves or not equal to us. So there's the teaching. There's also, I said the best way is to look at Jesus and how he was with people.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy world of hatred and racism and inequality. And when you start talking this way, it's like taking that stance and saying, no, we see people as equal all across the board, as Jesus would.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, Krista.
I was sitting here and the word just came into my heart, so I want to just share this thought with you, bridge. So you're a bridge. I'll tell you why. There are people that are missionaries and have that makeup, like they are built to be on the ground and just see the hardship, and they've got the stomach for it and the heart for it. And not everyone can do that, as you said. We're all called differently. And then you, someone like yourself, you are a bridge. You connect us to the mission field.
Yeah.
And so where I have a heart for missions, but maybe not the courage, the time, or my children's situation, my maybe young family, I'm not able to do all of that. But you connect me to that. And so through you, I become a missionary. And so
That's good.
it's such a special thing, those people that can connect, that say, look, in your living room, I can fulfill that calling that God's that burden, that fire. So that's what I think is going to happen when people watch this today. Is they're going to think, wow, I can make a difference to child soldiers in Uganda. I may never touch the soil, but through the bridge, I can send kids to school. It's incredible.
Yeah. That's a good way to say the bridge.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I just really felt to just encourage you that that's what you're doing.
Krista Bridge Jefferson.
I like it. I'll change my name.
I have to say, I'm feeling a bit newly inspired with all of this, and I have a lot of JustOne jewelry. I am a huge fan.
You do.
But I just feel like the theme of the value of one has really just kind of been heavy on me.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I wear this now, I need to remember the value of one, even in my own world, my own situation where I'm in now, that there's a value on one woman I have a conversation with, or one child you help, or and so thank you for encouraging us in that, and for taking a step out and bringing us fabulous jewelry.
That's helping, like the Lillians. It really is.
Right.
And I think it's just one, as you speak, whether across Canada or, on a show, it always is good because you're informing and educating us.
Right.
When, for some of us, ignorant, apathy, whatever it is, but it's almost like saying, don't forget,
Totally.
this is what you can do, JustOne, and not to overwhelm us, because I think this is a beautiful example where it's like, it's Lillian. Okay, then I can get relational about that versus like, there's like a million people.
Such a connector.
Right?
I love
Really,
this.
really, really good. So thank you, Krista. I love this, and you know that we're going to gush and push people to buy these. And so if you are interested in buying one of these amazing pieces, I was about to say signed by Cheryl. No, maybe.
No, then it
you
becomes
can
worthless.
purchase actually these pieces on our
Yes.
website. There's a button that says JustOne or buy this now. I don't know. We're going to create like a get that button there for you. So you can go onto our website, seeherelove.com. Look for the JustOne banner, click it, and there's going to be a huge catalog, right? Of,
there's
of
so many pieces.
I have to withhold.
It's like, okay. I know you do have a lot, but I think that we could click and get some really great pieces. Buy them for your mom, your sister, your colleagues, your mom-in-law, your enemy. They would love you after, right? I mean, you can buy for anybody, but know that you're making a difference in the lives of girls and women all over. So I love this. And so thank you, Krista, for
thank
inspiring
you.
us, for hearing kind of, God's kind of call, but it took 20 years later You know, sometimes it's the wait, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It doesn't happen overnight sometimes in the dreaming, but it can take the time. So thank you so much for being on.
being a bridge.
Thank you.
Yeah, a bridge. Krista Jefferson, if you want to know all about her.
Changed her name, people.
She's on the website. There's a lot of information about her and JustOne. And again,
Yes.
you can buy the products. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you're not already. And head to our website because there's tons of information and resources and blog posts that will inspire you definitely on your journey with Christ. Well, thanks for being with us. And again, know that you are seen and heard and deeply loved by God. Have a great Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.